This episode was recorded before the SAG-AFTRA strike commenced. We at Atomic Broadcasting wish to show solidarity in their fight for a livable wage. To learn more about SAG-AFTRA, feel free to follow the links in the show notes.
You are listening to an Atomic Broadcasting production, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation. And remember, do your part, such as like, comment, rate, and don't forget to tell a friend to tune in for an Atomic Time.
Now, where did we leave off? Ah, yes. The party made their destination of Copperburget, leaving the icy giant behind. While attempting to relax at the inn, Hamir recalled a mysterious sphere that almost got him killed. Alward heard this musing, which rang a bell in his own memory.
So I have a suspicion that Facebook is trying to play matchmaker, because for the last year and a half, Facebook has been sending me friend suggestions every other day for some random unmarried female in my area.
Facebook matchmaking.
I'm married and I get the same thing, except I think half of them are also married.
I mean, isn't that what Facebook was originally designed for?
No,
Dating?
No. It was built as a business thing. And then it switched over to
I mean, they have
and then
the freaking dating thing on it now.
I feel
which is
okay.
stupid.
So here's the thing. I think that everybody on Facebook, if you're gonna put a profile picture, make it of yourself and that you can actually see yourself.
No.
Well, who's gonna
Everyone.
if you try to add me, I'm not gonna add you if you're a picture of
I haven't changed my profile picture in over 13 years.
Is it you though?
No.
I've changed mine recently.
I don't
because I
even know if
deleted Facebook.
Mine's from 2019.
Yeah.
But is it you?
18? Yes, it is me though.
Then there you go.
I have long flowing hair.
Same as right
Look
now.
at that hair.
Jenkins has big hair.
I do. I hate my hair.
I like your hair.
Why?
It's
Thank
nice
you.
and curly.
Why do you hate your hair?
It doesn't do things.
Well, it does
But
do
it's
things.
nice
but not
to
the things
look
you
at.
I'd say
Well,
most people's hair doesn't do things.
I
would
make
say
my
that's
hair
unless,
do
unless
things.
you're the Marvel character
so, Abby,
Medusa.
Sven, you both comb your hair, and for the most
Regularly.
part, it stays
I
where
don't
you
think
want it
Sven
to.
combs
No,
his
it does
hair.
not.
Well, no, it stays in a general shape.
I think Sven speaks and his hair just does.
Whereas my hair, if I comb it, it just ignores
Well,
what
you
I want
have
it to do.
curly hair. You're not really supposed to comb it out.
I know, but it
You have
just
to use
doesn't
other
listen.
things like hairspray from the 80s.
No.
But only
That
from
way
the
you
80s.
have a built-in helmet.
Like my aunt.
Speaking of hair helmets, last time we left off with Hamir remembering this sphere that had nearly cost him his life, and talking about that reminded Alward of a sphere that he has in his possession. Alward,
What's the dwarf's name?
Dolvin.
that was not Dolvin.
Oh,
wasn't?
I thought that was Dolvin.
No. It was given to you by Bran Ketnil.
Hey, wait.
Oh.
That's not the same guy I took it from, is it?
No.
That was a weird name similar to that.
Wait, so
I didn't remember it then.
did
I
Bran
don't
hire
remember
me
it.
or did Dolvin hire me?
Dolvin hired. Well, it's
Yes.
complicated.
Okay, we'll move on.
Bran was the guy who scouted you.
Yeah. Okay.
For
and then
Dolvin.
he's the one who gave me that.
He went to one of
I
your
got confused about my dwarves whenever I saw him in the
went
previous
to one of your
episode.
college
There's just
or
a lot of
AAA
dwarves
games.
around here.
So many dwarves.
It's okay to
A
get
dwarf at a nearby table is like,
many
hey!
dwarves.
Why?
a town
Back
full
to
of
what
dwarves.
we were doing.
Yeah. So Bran.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Bran, I don't know why I'm telling you his name. A dwarf gave me this, and then I pull out the thing.
Is it shiny?
Is it shiny?
Is that the same thing?
Imagine a sapphire that has been bespeckled with the night sky of stars.
He has never described this item to me before, by the way, guys.
like
Is this the thing?
That's mine. You can't
It-
have it.
Is not big enough to be what you had.
I'm assuming it can fit in my hand.
No, the thing I had was this big.
But did it look like this?
It's like as big as your head.
But did it look like this?
That's a good question.
What is this?
Did it look like that?
I asked
But
you
bigger?
when you had it if you opened the package to look at it, and you said, no, it's none of my business.
Oh.
It's a marble.
But
So-
I know who might have some more information about it.
I just rolled a 19 on a crafting check to get information. Hold your hand, Uver.
Read aura.
Hold your hand.
Detect magic.
What does it do?
Lick it.
No. I'm trying to figure that out.
Why do you have
I'm trying
it?
to answer.
Italian. It's an Italian orb.
It's an Italian orb. So, holding it now, thinking of the context of what Hamir has mentioned about like somebody from the Infernal Mining Company trying to kill him to get a large sphere, holding this smaller sphere in your hand, having handled spell catalysts very recently, and having seen the golems that guard the entrance to the Copperberget mine, you think you may be holding in your hand the key to the engine that powers these golems.
So oh gosh, what's it called? A core.
Similar.
Yeah.
This could be one of the first examples on Galarian of hybrid technology.
Like tech and magic hybrid, or
Mm-hmm.
That's from Starfinder.
Thanks, Tom.
so. Do I get a sense as to what it would do?
Power. It's
Oh my!
It would turn it on.
I have power.
It would turn it on.
it's a self-renewing
Endurance.
battery in a sense.
Self what?
Ooh, lick
Self-renewing
it.
battery.
Lick it. What happened?
I did say to lick
And that's where we'll end this.
I didn't say anything, so
Hey.
people are just gonna be confused.
Hey, Uver's done a few crazy things. Your turn.
I would lick no.
I put it on my head.
But I don't have a clue as to what, mechanically speaking, it would do for me.
You're not even 100% sure that's what it is,
Oh.
but you've got a theory now.
Read aura.
If Alward is willing.
Diverse lore.
May I?
Sure. I'll give it back.
Yeah, oh, of course.
It is imbued with conjuration magic.
There's conjuration magic in this.
I mean, that makes sense considering it's meant to power golems and
It wouldn't hurt if you let me go ahead and diverse lore it.
I'm not trying to determine whether or not I will let you roll. I'm trying to determine whether or not I have something for you to roll for.
What do you mean?
Like, do I have more information that I can give you right now?
I don't know.
No.
26.
Well, that would be a success.
Then
Let me think.
we can think back on it later.
With your esoteric lore and drawing on like folklore and what you've heard and rumors and stuff like that, this really stands out to you as being similar to like the cores and technology and stuff such that works with androids, but maybe a little bit cruder than that, but definitely far more advanced than what is used in constructs.
Automatons, right? Androids don't have cores.
yeah, they do.
Do they?
Oh no, sorry, not androids,
No.
automatons.
Right. Automatons have cores. Androids have more of like a personality matrix. So it's like falling somewhere between automatons and androids in the level of sophistication.
Oh, so it can hold a soul? Like an android?
It might have the potential to do that.
Oh. Interesting.
But why would somebody give you that?
Honestly, I thought it was a bribe. I made very clear that I could not accept it if it was a bribe, because I wanted to be an impartial judge. And then he said it's not a bribe, and he said I could keep it if you'd like. And then I was like, no, I'll take it, because I thought it was going to be something useful. And then I forgot I kind of owned it for a little bit.
Well, as I mentioned to Uver before, I have a friend in Tomgruv that can give us information. And he's the one who hired me to go pick up and deliver that sphere. He might have some more information on these as well. Might be able to learn some more while we're there.
So, you almost... And I turned to my family, and I'm just like, maybe I shouldn't speak about this now, and I sort of just stop.
Your mom's just looking at you really oddly, like, is there some secret going on?
I don't want you to worry. It's fine.
Alward, if something's going on, I need to know. No. I mean, if I'm worried about you, I want to be worried because I know what's going on.
Well, then can you cover her ears? And I point to Lena.
Lena stubbornly puts her hands like over her ears, but like splays her hands so she can still hear.
Put your fingers in your ear and swirl.
I can see that they're not covered, Lena.
Lena's just like, fine, I guess the grown-ups are talking, and she just like slides out of her seat under the table and just like crawls out into the floor.
Dramatic.
I can picture that so vividly.
So is she like far enough away?
She's going over and talking to Dane, who's not really doing much right now, but Dane's like, oh, hi, and they start talking.
She's like, give me a cold one. Passes her some water with ice.
Milk on the rocks.
And then he's like, how was your day? She's like, let me tell you about it.
So you should I be worried that I have this since you were almost killed for a bigger one? Not to mention everything else.
Assuming it's the same thing.
Also assuming anybody knows you have it.
That is true. Well, one person at least knows that.
But
I
would trust Trav to give us the right kind of information.
Why would they give this to me?
For fun.
I
don't think I like your kind of fun.
All right. Well, it seems like you have a track record of people giving you important things.
Maybe he was looking for someone to drop it off with and then pick up from later.
That doesn't.
Safekeeping.
It didn't seem like that. It felt like a bribe.
Maybe he thought you knew what it was.
Maybe he knew you didn't know what it was,
clearly
and therefore
did not. I even asked him, "What is this?"
Maybe he was given some prophetic vision by Pharasma or some crap.
I don't know much about other gods.
There's too much variables as to why you were given that.
That's fair, I suppose.
So, while we're in Tomgruv, just make sure we can ask Trav if we can find him, what to do, what it is. He should know, depending on how he is.
What does that mean?
Well, we'll find him in either one of three situations. One, he'll be the richest man in town, living in the biggest house in town. Two, he'll be destitute on the street, possibly starving to death. Three, he might be set up for execution or something. He's sitting in prison because they found out he was involved with it.
Can we?
So there's either good, not as good, but still fine, or we'll have to break him out of prison.
Before we meet your friend,
bad,
can we
ugly.
give my family shelter?
Oh yeah, I mean my home is nearby there.
Okay.
Trav was actually a friend of your father. He was our commanding officer when we started, but he lost his arm and leg about 5 years into our service.
Does he have a replacement?
Sometimes. Depends on if he's lost them or not.
He sounds like a man of variable luck.
He has a lot of contacts. He knows a lot of people. And he lives hard.
Valia's just like looking between the two of you, and she's just like, you've chosen some interesting bodyguards, Alward.
I didn't choose them, they were chosen. Okay, that's
true. Salazar hired us all for this book job.
I think you're the only one who I technically chose.
Because I knew your father.
Yeah.
Nepotism.
Bodyguards are chosen for the job.
Regardless of who chose who and bodyguard, right. I think that it would be best to get some more information.
Well, yes.
And I think that you better keep that orb hidden.
I mean, I was just going to flash it around town. No, I'm going to probably forget I own it again. And then I put it back in my backpack.
20 more episodes later.
Oh, hey, guys.
And we can't forget that... I don't know if I should speak of this right now with your mother.
Velia just crosses her arms and scowls at you.
Please speak freely as long as Lena's not here.
Oh, what?
Well, and then I kind of...
I thought you told us not to speak freely in front of your mother.
Alward?
That was like 2 days ago, okay?
Hey, Mia, we need some vegetables.
I'm sorry, your father didn't seem too pleased with it, so I thought I'd say something.
One by one, people leave the table to go get
He's
vegetables.
dead.
I know, it's annoying.
Maybe just ignore him for now until
It's
we need
really
him.
hard.
Alward, don't say that in front of your mother.
She knows. We wept together for several years.
I was told she was sensitive about it.
She was. That's why she was in her room.
How much have you all been talking about me behind my back?
He is a very difficult person to work with under.
You are a researcher. I did mention
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
No, you're not a bodyguard.
Yeah.
With.
We're all bodyguards for each other. All 5 of us see the combat.
Sure.
All 5 of us kill things. It happens.
I have not.
All right. Children, if there's something important going on, I need to go.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm like your age.
No, she's like 200.
Oh, right. She's an owl.
This one
She's
I think is
old.
older than you.
With all respect, I think I am a bit older than even you.
Well, if you're acting like children.
Do you see what I have to deal with?
I am starting to understand why you told them to just keep quiet and not tell me anything.
Yes.
They seem like a very uncoordinated bunch. I tried to pull the mom card and they all ignored me.
They get off top. Well, to be fair, I don't think she has
I've never had a mother.
a mother. He's too old.
Blurts that out so fast.
She's too old to have a mother.
I'm
He
a
probably has never seen his mother.
I don't have a mother. I don't have a mother.
And I don't know how long
She
dwarves
says it
live.
laughing, to be honest.
I am 300 years old.
I don't believe you.
You should see his brain.
You should see his product line.
It's missing some big parts.
He was a dwarf and Alzheimer's. You can see his brain.
Trust me, he's old.
Well, I'm going to go check on Lena, make sure she's not bothering the staff.
Oh, she's in good hands. Dane doesn't do anything.
Velia goes over to attend to Lena.
Sorry, ma'am.
She ignores you.
What was I supposed to say? Hymir looks off to the side of no one.
Literally nothing.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
Zephyr, the helmet.
Wait, what? We're on the helmet.
What?
No.
I believe that was what he was avoiding talking about.
Yes.
You?
Yes.
What about the helmet?
The fact that the ice golem only attacked him until the very end.
Is it?
Oh, it's most likely because of the help.
Salazar's walking up to the table.
Salazar, you're back.
Salazar, do you know anything about helmets?
No.
Stop it.
Stop.
Stop it.
I don't understand. Is this some sort of
It's a
dirty
game he
joke?
likes. No, it's a game he likes to play. It's called Slap Hands. It always starts with that question.
Anyway, we have the things that you were...
Write down these rules.
What are we going to do? Slap hands.
Roll
The first
deception.
rule is you ask how you feel
I
about
could.
helmets.
Do I need to?
Salazar, did you receive the books?
Ah, yes, they did arrive. It was excellently done. I wasn't expecting you all to come with Alward.
Surprise.
We have business elsewhere nearby.
They
And we want our money.
yeah. They,
Oh!
Also that.
So Salazar hands out little bags of coin that have all been pre-measured out for the payment he had promised in advance.
Have you gotten any further with the research?
Oh, indeed I have. Why? And he pulls out this satchel and just starts dumping research material on the table.
Watch my food.
Oh, good grief.
Just gonna take that as my cue to leave.
Oh, this is very fascinating. What did you find?
And at this point, Uver and Salazar go on for a while.
I would like to be a part of this.
Oh, Uver and Salazar and Alward go on for a while. In summary, they've been collecting data using their charcoal rubbings and stuff and comparing notes and trying to find like repeating patterns and stuff like that. So they've come up with the same thing that you had discovered kind of in that flash of insight of it is an inscription of some kind, that it's like writing something out that you could read, but it's not like meant to trigger magical effects. So they do match Uver's runes, but they do not match anything that you found, like in terms of like the text that was used to write the books in the old library.
I am unsure if I want to swap and try to learn the runes.
I would say, my friend, it is very difficult to learn these runes. I have literally had them on myself, and I have made very little progress. Well, that I remember.
No offense, Uver, but how many languages do you speak?
I speak 3, but
and how old are you?
Oh. He's lost so much memory.
He used to speak 25.
He's forgotten how.
Most of my research has been on these runes alone, not on other languages.
Right.
He's gonna dunk.
I speak 6 languages.
Oh, that's all?
And I'm constantly learning more. And I am over 10 times younger than you.
Very impressive, young lad.
I'm just saying, give me a chance and I can see what I can do.
Perhaps then you can start by trying to write some out.
If you need help researching, I can reach your back.
What?
Well, he obviously can't see his back, so how's he going to see the ones on his back?
I have my own notes of my runes.
How did you do that?
Mirrors.
It's called a mirror.
2 of them.
Provided that we have sufficient time, give me about a week and a half, and I'll see what I can do.
I am interested to see what you can find.
I'm changing my downtime activity, Jordy.
As Uver just kind of glances up at Salazar like, young kids.
Salazar just has a look on his face like, I just was in the middle of a very awkward conversation.
So are we going back to Joel?
No.
What?
I'm not.
By the way, I will suggest staying here for at least 2 months.
Well, I'll stay here as long as the dwarves will have me. Although I do get the sense I'm overstaying my welcome.
Just don't go to Joel. That's really all.
I think that's just dwarves in general. I get that feeling every time I'm near Uver.
I don't mean to pry, but Uver, have you been giving them trouble?
Honestly, I'm not entirely certain where this is coming from.
Hamir, starts chuckling to himself and gets up and leaves.
Well, you do definitely seem like the most agreeable chap of the lot to me, I must say. No offense to all of you, but we are kindred spirits.
Alward's just am I chopped liver?
I may have stuck my foot in my mouth.
It is no matter. Please continue. Let us continue with your research.
Yes, indeed. On to subjects of more importance. And he continues showing you diagrams and, suggestions and theories.
Nerds.
When they start going back into their research, I was just going to pull out his book and then start writing down, trying to translate the runes.
And then Zephyr, much like Lena, just slides down the chair and then shimmies out behind the table.
It's a little more awkward because he's a little taller.
I could go play slap hands
and has
with
a
Lena.
shield.
Don't play slap hands with my sister.
She slaps you in the face.
That's the spirit.
And then we cut to Zephyr being thrown out of the tavern.
You're just mad because I'm the slap hand champion.
And on that note, you have all rented rooms in the Cheery Martin to spend the night. And as each of you are returning back to your own individual rooms to spend that night, our camera is going to focus in on Hamir's room.
Hamir walks into his room, closes the door, locks it, closes the blinds, and sets his chalice down.
They would probably be shutters, but continue.
I don't care. The windows are now blocked. And as he's kind of staring at the chalice, he feels like the chains on his arm are starting to tighten. Well, at the same time, he kind of pulls down a part of his shirt and looks down at his skin. And there looks like there's movement underneath the skin. And he feels the chains continue to tighten more. And then he starts hearing like people yelling and shouting as like a angry mob type situation. And he kind of closes his eyes and grips tightly on the chains. And he opens his eyes for a second, and he's like chained up in the middle of a crowd as like they're all bringing up like fire up towards him. And then he flashes out of that for a second, takes a step back, lets the chains kind of fall off his arm onto the ground, sees his chest isn't really moving around like it was, and then he just lays on top of his bed to fall asleep.
And we fade out to black.
I'm sorry.
The next morning, we are in the common area of the tavern. Alward is already up, sitting at a table, sipping on a coffee he's just finished brewing, as Uver comes down the stairs.
As you come down the stairs, a cup of coffee is going to be floated to you by an ethereal magic hand.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. I wanted to talk to you real fast about... well, really more so apologize. I didn't mean to make it seem that you didn't know anything. If that's the way it came across last night.
Yes. It is. I think I should apologize that as well. That you are a very bright young man, and it is, even as old as I am, it is impolite to disregard what you have accomplished. And I was speaking. I was tired, and it is something that is sensitive, I would say. But I thank you for the apologies.
Right. I'm going to bring out a book, which you've seen before. I've written in it before. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to say, so this book, it was passed to me when my father died in the war. I'm not sure if... Moving on. It allows me to learn languages at an expedited rate. The only issue is I have to be able to write the languages in it. So I was thinking maybe since we weren't in the room anymore and I had the markings to go off of, I would still be able to write it. No. So it's going to probably take me longer than expected to learn this language. I was going to go into the mine before I gave my decision, just in case they decided we weren't allowed in after that, and get some charcoal rubbings. I was wondering if you wanted to come along.
Well, does it have to be you that writes in the book?
I'm the only one attuned to the book, so yes. It's a family lineage thing, I think, as well.
I see. Oh, that... I understand. What? I think we can go into the... I would like to see the room again.
We should wait to tell everybody, or we could leave now if you feel competent enough that we could take on whatever threats exist in there. I'll leave a note or something.
Oh, we only have the Duergar to worry about, and I assume at this point that the researchers are possibly posted as the guards as the junction. Otherwise, I don't see any danger in going. But if you wish to wait for the rest of the party, I will not mind.
Well, I also want to see if I can't find and speak with Bran, the one who made the golems, due to the things that we found out last night about the object that I have. And I have a thing I need to do later today about deliberating about who owns the mine, so the sooner the better, I'd think.
Well, then I don't think there's a reason why we have to wait.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second, and then I'm going to hastily scrawl on a piece of paper and give it to the bartender, just being like, this is where we are. We'll be back, kind of thing for the rest of the party.
Perfect.
And then we leave.
Goodbye.
Your note in place, your party assembled. The two of you head out on the path you've once traveled before to reach the mine. It is much less nerve-wracking now that you're more experienced, more powerful. You feel much more capable of handling whatever might come your way as you go through. But fortunately, there are no centipedes this time or Duragar to harass you, and you make the cave safely.
As we walk into the room, Uver turns to Alward and says,
So I realized we were interrupted quite rudely by those Duragar last time, but I only really went apart the south side of this room. What is there? But I understand that there was something odd about the north side of the room, near the.
and he points to the statue.
I got real sad about that, but I couldn't. I thought that was just a me thing. I'm gonna be honest.
Hamir said something about it being a curse.
Oh, maybe it wasn't a me thing. Maybe it was everyone. I don't know. I feel like I was the only one who was crying, aside from... Yeah, no, I think I was the only one who cried.
I wonder if I could go and study the runes on that side and perhaps gain some insight on my end. But if you could pull me back from the area, perhaps you are no longer affected by it or not. It doesn't seem to be too dangerous, considering it only made you sad.
I'm gonna go to the not cursed side of the room to see if I can get any rubbings and if the rubbings work. But yeah, if you want to go over there, maybe you can figure out what that statue is.
I can take a look at it. Unfortunately, we were a bit rushed the last time, and I do want to check out the rest of the room. That's why I've been wanting to come back.
Cry if you need help, I guess. I'm gonna go.
I will call if I need help.
And Uver starts walking towards the statue.
Perfect. So as Uver starts heading over to the other side of the room where the statue is, Alward goes up to one of the walls and, pressing a blank leaf of paper against the wall, begins rubbing charcoal on to take on rubbings of the text. And as you begin to rub, it takes on the etchings and everything and puts them on the page. And as you're familiar with how your book should work, on the opposite leaf should appear similar writings that have just translated it into your common, which I'm assuming you would be most comfortable reading it in Taldane.
Yeah.
And as you do so, it begins putting charcoal rubbings on the other side, but it's just blank charcoal.
So it's like charcoal and then just a blank space where words should be?
More like if you had just rubbed charcoal on a blank slate. It's just like a charcoal rub.
Oh, so it's like the whole page is just covered in charcoal.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened before. And then I'm going to start making my way back to Uver.
As you look over your shoulder, turning around, you see Uver as he walks up to the statue. And Uver, I'm going to need a will save.
I thought so.
Were you the only one who didn't make a will save last time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a natural 1.
Oh!
Wow.
No.
I do have a hero point.
That's not worth it.
That's not worth it. So
this is awesome.
I think I also got a nat 1.
Effect.
Yeah.
Crying
So
is a
that's
free
very
action.
good.
Effect.
Crying is a free action.
That's not good.
Well,
Crying is a failed save.
Yeah, crying is a failed save.
To be more specific, that is actually an 11.
With a natural 1,
With a
so the
natural
degree
1.
of success goes down by 1, making this a critical failure.
Yeah.
So as you walk up to this other side of the room, you're taking a look at the statue, which you really haven't gotten a look at since last time. You didn't really get that close.
Nope.
But just as you're starting to look at it and be like, I feel like I've seen, you just suddenly get this wave of just absolute regret and sorrow wash over you, like you have done something terrible and you have no way of fixing it.
I shouldn't have come here. All this time. This waste. I need to get out of here. I need to do something. I need to...
So, the charcoal rubbings didn't do anything, and I try to show you my book.
It doesn't matter. My whole life has been a waste. I have spent so much time, so much of my life just to try to figure out these things, and I could have been doing so much more. I could have helped more people. I could have used my knowledge that I've gained, but I've been so selfish.
Do I need to make another save?
Are you walking up towards him again?
Yeah.
I'm going to need another will save.
18.
So that is a fail, just a regular fail. So you feel yourself sad. You feel it kind of coming back, and it's a similar feeling of like, sadness and regret, but you're not like overcome. It's just like, I don't feel good. I don't want to be here.
So upon hearing you, like, that's, I don't want to be here right now either, but that's just the statue. Let's get you, come on. And I'm going to try to like drag you over. That's just the statue talking.
I need to do something else. I need to.
No, hey.
Forget this. I need to.
No, don't forget. You forgot enough. It's just, come on. Let's just leave this awful room. I'll go find the dwarf. It's gonna be fine.
Thank you. Let us leave. Let us leave.
As you're walking out of the cave, you pass Minbilgo Terranbor, the grouchy short gnome that was the architect guy. As he's walking in, and he just looks up at the two of your tear-stricken faces and just goes, "Fooling around with the statue again," as he walks in.
Minbilgo. Gosh, what is that dwarf's name again?
Minbilgo.
No, the other one.
Oh, you're talking about Bran.
Yeah, Minbilgo. Do you know? Do you know where Bran is?
Last I knew, he was over at the what do you call it? The foreman's shack.
Do you know how to? I know how to get there. I don't know. Thank you. Come, let's go to the foreman's shack. It's gonna be okay.
Kids these days fooling around with archaeological digs.
Just patting your back with mage hand.
So on your way back from the mine to the town of Copperburget, you stop in at the foreman's shack to speak with Bran, but as you approach the door, there's another one of the dwarves who's like, dressed up in miner's attire and everything. He just holds out a hand to stop you. He's like, "Oh, sorry, can't come in."
I need to speak with Bran.
Right, well, he's in here and he's working on a highly delicate experiment, he says with air quotes.
Well, that's fine. I have a question. Can he come out here real fast?
I've been told it's highly delicate, and he can't even open the door. And he gestures behind him, and the door is like welded shut in a couple spots.
What?
Welded?
It's a metal door.
I'd say it's a baby announcement, but maybe he's announcing a baby.
This was can you tell him I stopped by? Alward Volden, he knows me.
Of course. You got any cards?
Maybe.
I have an ace of spades.
I'm going to ruffle through my backpack and pull out a blank piece of paper and just quickly scribble on my name and pass it to him.
Highly professional. And he tucks it in a pocket.
I used to have business cards, but they're no longer accurate. I still have a few. Not the point. The point... Then that has the information on it, I guess.
Oh, yep. Alward Volden, got your phone number. I'll make sure he gets you a message when he's available.
Thank you, I guess. And then I'm going to turn to Uver. I guess we just go back to the tavern now. I don't...
Yes. I could use something to drink, I think.
Don't get started too early.
No.
A statue made us sad. It's okay.
Art can move us in ways we don't understand.
Trust me, I don't understand this one at all. And I wish I did. Or I don't know what I wish right now.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and cut away to see Hamir, who has, by this point, gotten up, dressed, and is out of the tavern, heading out of town towards the farmland and forestry off towards the west. As he's walking down the roads and pathways heading out of town, he comes up to what appears to be an old abandoned barn. The inside is fairly empty and vacant, but if you knew what you were looking for, you might be able to identify a ring of sand in the inside and a few barrels and crates that have been set up along the walls, almost as if makeshift stadium seating.
Yeah, so Hamir steps in, looks down at some of that sand where it looks like maybe there's a bit of blood mixed into it, and he puts some of that in a vial and puts it with his many, many little vials of esoterica that he uses a lot.
He's a sand vampire.
Yes. I start biting the sand. It's minerals are mine.
The sand is the gross part.
It's coarse.
Gritty.
So after he puts the vial up, he's going to take out his chalice and just set it in the center of the circle and take a seat.
And you hear a voice from the entryway to the barn. It's just like, bit early for killing.
He kind of just turns like, it's not usually what happens in this place.
No, it ain't. And a younger man with a scraggly beard and like sand blonde hair walks in, and he's just got the hardest, most like disapproving look on his face, and his arms are crossed, but you can easily tell like he's not confident. Like, you know, the slightest change in the conversation might have him turning and running.
Oh. Can I help you?
I don't know. Can you undo what you did last time?
I don't know. What do you mean what I did last time? I did what everyone else does. I just fought.
Don't play stupid.
What? Hamir's kind of like, he looks a little confused. He's like, when was I here last? Again?
So his like uncertain demeanor is kind of dissolving into just unbridled anger at this point. And he's just like, stop playing around. You know just as well as I do last time you were here, just about a week ago. He was a good man. I know who you are. But I don't know who you think you are, or who you want to be, but you didn't deserve it.
Oh. It was after the mine, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Sorry, there's been a lot going on, so I don't quite remember everything. I imagine I won the fight. Is that what you're upset about? Did you lose some money in a wager?
You won the fight. There are no winners in a fight like that when someone dies.
Did he not live?
When someone died, did he not live?
Are you saying?
I don't think you understand.
Is he alive now?
Are you saying I killed him?
Are you saying you care so little you don't remember?
I wouldn't say that exactly. But I guess it wasn't really a highlight of my last week or two.
He's fixed you with a glare now, and he begins purposefully striding into the center of the sand ring where you'd set your chalice.
He gets up and he's like, I'd be careful.
Unless you interrupt him, he is going to bend down and pick up the chalice.
I'll trip him with my chains.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
I will. 31.
This guy is getting shreked.
That was a 19 on the die.
So that's a critical success.
Ooh!
Your chain wraps around both of this guy's legs, and he just slams down hard on the ground, and his head like clips the side of the chalice on the way down, and he takes 4 points of damage.
Oof. I did try to tell you. That's a dangerous thing you're reaching for.
He looks between you and the chalice and just grabs it and just throws it at you, and it just like rolls in the sand at your feet, and he's just like, get out of here.
Well. Alright then, I suppose so. I was going to do something here, but you seem a little upset. Is this your bar?
He's like starts struggling against the chains a little bit as they're still wrapped around his feet, but they like don't come off immediately, and he just like in frustration just turns and just like slams his face into the sand, just like hiding his face from you like a teenager.
I pick up my chalice. I walk up next to him, and I'll pick his head up a bit out from the sand if I could. You can't hide away from everything forever. Sometimes you have to face the facts that some lives are more important than others. And I'm not here to deal with your lives. I'm here looking for the most important one. So don't bother me again. And I'll just drop his head back down into the sand and walk away.
And the camera will just like slowly crane down from a high shot to a lower shot as we watch Hamir just walk out of the barn, just leaving this figure in the sand as his chest starts to like heave from crying.
Did you kill his lover or something?
Dang, what the heck?
I don't know who that guy was. I definitely didn't bash his head in with my chalice. Over and over again. What?
And I thought I was brutal.
Hard cut. We are back in the tavern.
Who's all at the tavern?
Everybody's at the tavern now as Hamir is opening the door and walking in.
Party time.
Has Uber kind of recovered from the whatever?
Oh yeah, by the time you've made it back to the tavern, like you can still recall how it feels, but you've completely regained emotional control of yourself.
See, there. It was you didn't waste your life.
You two look like you've been crying. What are you
where
doing?
You been?
Dude, it was the statue.
Did you not get the note? I left a note.
No, not you. I read the note. I was wondering where
there was a
Hamir
note. Who had a note?
Yeah, they left a note letting us know that they were going to the cave.
We're
thingy.
responsible and didn't want everyone to wonder where we were in case something happened.
Well, I didn't see a note.
You may have left before I made the note.
I mean, it was less of a note than a message.
That sure was a paragraph long.
No, I meant like you didn't leave. Like, we're not gonna walk up to a piece of paper that would tell everybody your business.
When are we
I
leaving?
gave it to the bartender.
I think it is best that we leave as soon as possible.
No, I have things to do in this town.
I would also like to. Well, actually, is Dolvin gonna be in the? You're doing your thing, right?
Yes. Yes.
Dolvin, is that yes to everything?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I think I'll join you if that's all right.
I mean, yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't be. You were part of the thing. I don't. I mean, maybe Sithri would have a problem with it, but I don't know if she'll be there. So
I don't think Sithri will have a problem with it at all.
You don't know Sithri?
Yeah, I do. Sithri was.
She's a real pain.
Sithri was on a horse. If you remember,
his descriptor is more closely related to her character than your descriptor.
If you remember from that first episode.
Yes, I remember. There was an attempt to pull a prank and it failed.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
We all look at heroes.
I still have that paper,
Probably
by the
dancing
way.
on
Did
stage.
you throw that away or something?
Sure, I put it in the fire.
You need to do your thing, and I understand that, but I do think that it's important that we make it to Tomgruv as soon as possible, both to
set up your family and to talk to your informer or whatnot that has information. Yeah.
Friend would be the best word, though I don't like it.
How far away is Tomgruv?
If you take the carriage that you have rented, it'll be just about a 5-hour journey.
I'm going to do the thing that I need to do at like noon-ish, so we'll have time to leave after that.
I could make everyone dinner at my house.
You can cook?
Yes. I raised a child. Well, I raised a child, so yeah, I know how to cook.
That doesn't... Okay.
I also... Yeah, anyway.
Alward takes a mental note in his head that he is going to do everything in his power to cook instead of him.
Your father liked my cooking. And then Hamir looks at you for a minute blankly, and then starts chuckling to himself. My cooking's bad.
I assumed.
That was the joke.
Okay. I'll go ahead and cook. It's fine.
That sounds great.
Or my mom can
I've got a great kitchen.
His mother makes great beef stew.
I know. Didn't we have that? What did we eat?
Stroganoff.
Oh, what's the difference?
And I made that.
Oh.
It was good, actually.
Could use more salt.
I rolled a 24 on my cooking check for that. Screw you.
The clock strikes noon. Ding.
Ding.
We have a very
ding,
dramatic
ding.
establishing shot as we're like cutting on each stroke of the clock to all the different people who are present at this announcement.
The mouse climbs over it.
And hickory dickory dock, it is time for Alward to announce his decision.
You should have said talk.
You should have said talk.
It is time for Alward.
Jordy.
Episode
Hickory
title,
dickory
Hickory
dock.
dickory dock.
It's time
Jordy.
for Alward to talk.
Jordy. You should have said talk.
Hickory dickory dock, it's time for Alward to talk.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, you're in the tavern common room. You've got Dulvin, you've got Cithri, you've got... They're all 5 of you, of course. Salazar is there. The rest of the research group is not because they've been brought in with Salazar and they're still working on stuff. They can just hear from him. What's really important is that you've got Cithri and Dulvin both as representatives of the Infernal Mining Company and the Copperburget Mine, respectively, waiting to hear the decision from this third-party arbiter, Alward Volden, who will decide who gets to own that newly found portion of the mountain.
So Alward sort of takes a deep breath, holds it in for a second, then lets it out, turns around and says, "All right, so we are gathered here today because we need. I need to make a decision on who owns the new property established in the mountain range of the mine recently.
You got this, bro.
Zephyr.
Thank you,
Shut up.
Zephyr. Please refrain from making any more comments.
Okay.
Thank you.
You got this.
With my cheerleader out of the way, I have done a lot of research over the past week and scoped the mine out thoroughly a few times, and it is my expert opinion that the mine still belongs to the Copperburget Mining Company, and it belongs that for another mile or so out. However, if the runes extend out past that point, anything past that point will become property of the Infernal Mining Company.
Dulvin just like big grin. He's just like, I knew you had it in you. And Cithri just very calmly is like, do you have a map where these lines have been marked out clearly?
Yes, and then I pull out a map that I made a few nights ago, and like it's sort of older, and show her where the lines were drawn, like however long back. And this is the map that I used to make that reference.
I'm going to ask for a legal lore or a society check.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
You would have thought he would have asked for this the multiple times I was researching.
He's going to fail because he's built for it.
If you cursed me.
Don't mess up.
got a hero point.
I don't want to use it for this.
You sure?
Yes.
Can I use my hero point because I screwed him over?
It's a 16, I think. Let me double check.
I'll allow it.
You'll allow me to use the hero point?
You can
We don't
reroll.
speak things into existence.
Yeah, it's a 16.
I'm going to spend my hero point for Michael Jenkins because I cursed his roll. I'm going to punch you if you fail this, though.
Deservedly so. That's so much better. Oh, thank you.
I'll refrain from speaking about dice rolls in the future.
Except if it's to tell Jordy no.
Yeah, always tell Jordy no.
27.
Yes. That's a fail.
Regular failure.
As you're showing this map and all of the details and everything to Sithri, for the first time since you've ever met her, she appears to be impressed.
Ooh.
Wow, nice job, Alward.
And she's like,
Alward.
these are very well...
Who really wrote that map?
These are very well written and well annotated. This is something I can bring to my superiors, and I believe that they will be satisfied with your decision. Thank you for your unbiased decision.
Of course.
And then she burns it.
I've made copies.
And you get the sense that you may have actually shifted her attitude towards you and the party by 1 degree.
Oh my goodness.
That's good because I don't imagine it started very high
Yeah,
because of
Sithri
me.
will remember this.
Yeah.
Sithri liked that.
Sithri loved that.
Oh.
Oh.
But
Maps.
1
That
point
is-
for the party, 2 points for Alward.
that is my delegation. Any further delegation would most likely, due to the law of the area, would have to be brought up to the area's Lenorm King, I believe, or the ruler, so to speak.
All right, well, I don't think there'll be any need for that. Cheers all around, we're all happy. Drinks are on me.
Great.
Everyone is looking at Neros, and I don't know why.
I imagine that happens in world. He's like, drinks are on me. The whole party just looks at Neros. It's just like...
And then Henry goes, great.
Dolvin,
Yeah.
I need to speak with Bran. He was busy today. Is there...
He's on a whole nother, I don't know, spirit journey or whatever he does with these sorts of things. Locks himself up tight for weeks at a time and starts working on experiments.
Well, when he locks out, I guess we're going to be in Tomgruv past today. If you could let him know I have several questions for him.
Sure. Getting interested in his work, are you?
Yes.
All right, he'll like to hear that. He's always a fan of bright young minds who are interested in the same sort of technological wizardry that he uses.
Good to hear.
I bet he likes you a lot, Alward.
He scouted me for this whole... Anyway, just let him know where we'll be so I can talk with him.
Of course, I'll bring it up in our next stand-up meeting.
Is it a meeting where you stand up, or is it a meeting about standing?
It's where you get in a group and you're like, so here's what we're doing today. We're professionals.
Come on,
A
Alward.
planning meeting?
It's like a morning meeting.
I've been here a while, and they do tend to do that. It's
Well,
actually quite efficient.
All companies do that. I've never heard it. A stand-up. It's a new phrase.
What else would you call it, Alward?
A morning meeting, a
All right.
planning meeting.
I'll also bring it up in our sit-down meeting if that
What's a
helps.
sit-down meeting?
It's just like a stand-up meeting, except you do it sitting down.
Okay, so you are standing during this? That's all okay.
I've been standing this whole time, but people keep thinking I'm sitting for some reason.
I knew you were standing. You were
I
behind
won't be
me.
standing for much longer. Bring me another round.
But wait, you're
Hold on,
drinking
the
here?
This is the tavern.
I thought we were still at the meeting room.
This is the meeting.
We're
room.
just meeting in the
Wait,
tavern.
we're in the tavern?
Yes.
How many have you already taken?
I've been distracted
Hamir's
today.
already drinking.
Hey, when
Maybe
you get
that's
free
enough
drinks.
drinks for
I
you.
haven't had anything to drink.
Shut.
I don't.
Uber just looks at him and then looks down at the chalice.
Are you sure you haven't had anything to drink?
I don't drink.
I would suggest nobody in the
Alcohol.
party consume alcohol since we will be leaving soon.
Not even one?
That is a little unfair.
Can you perform at your best if you have a drink?
I think she performs better.
The road to Tomgruv is pretty safe. The road to Tomgruv is pretty safe.
Jenkins, you've just given me the beautiful picture of you guys heading to Tomgruv on your wagon, and then just like this wagon comes up behind you, and this mage just starts flashing fire, ice, and he's like, wee woo wee.
Not even drinking.
He's an oscillating wave psychic.
But Hamir's leading the horses and has not been drinking, so it's okay.
It's fine.
I'm the designated driver.
Well, in some states, even having an open can of alcohol in your vehicle can be cause for alarm.
Yes.
Neros.
Well, we're in the land of the
he just
Lenore
reaches
Kings.
out to Neros and grabs and just pours it.
If you...
Well, you didn't have to do that.
It's just one drink.
Okay, fine. One
Not a
drink, but
lightweight.
please don't get drunk. I don't feel like dealing
Hey,
with that.
it's during the day. I don't get drunk during the day.
It's true. The only time I've seen her blackout drunk was late at night
Thank
on
you.
the stage.
That is correct. But
Yeah.
also, my sister,
What about your sister?
you're like the only other female that she's ever seen.
What about your mum?
Aside from her. So,
What?
Your family is
Be-
quite sheltered.
See?
Okay,
a
look.
good role model
I
if
mean,
possible.
you can tell her not to act like some people.
Like her.
I'm just worried
Don't
she's
point at
going to
me.
latch on to you like a big sister sort of thing.
I've honestly, I've kind of ignored her this entire time. So.
That's what makes me worried.
What?
Did she not go to school?
She did, but we haven't found a school in this area.
You've been here for years.
We're in the land of the Lenore Kings.
And I went to school.
Not the Linarm schools. I didn't go to school.
I usually spoke at the schools, so...
What?
You
What did
at
you
the school?
say? What?
What
I don't
did
think
you-
I don't think any of us heard
Did
what
you
you
have
said.
a little bit to
Did you
drink?
say you
Uber?
spoke at the school?
You spook the schools? Ooh,
I usually...
Ooh.
I usually spoke at the schools a little bit.
But anyway, my mom was homeschooling her while we were trying to find a good
All right.
spot.
Well, I'm sure your mum has some discernment on this, and it's fine.
This whole thing was a joke because you're the only female in the thing, and the only one that's been introduced is my mother in Sifri.
And
I feel like we need to push this a little further. She went to the marketplace several times and she never saw a female.
also
I don't know.
that.
She doesn't speak about it.
Meanwhile,
She's the most consistent female aside from my
the
mother.
door to the tavern opens. Izel Shara walks in, just looks around, is like, they've all forgotten about me. Walks
Oh,
back
yeah.
out.
Oh, did you
Well,
also
she's
forget
the most
about Dane?
consistent.
And
Dane's a female?
She's not here.
Esmeralda,
and
the
Esmeralda.
bartender's just frowning, shaking her head.
None of you interact with her on
Wait,
a
is
daily
that-
basis.
to
Alward.
be fair, I've barely interacted with
But
her.
you're around more frequently.
For like a day.
You're going to be around more frequently.
I am?
I'm assuming.
All right. I'm leaving.
And then
Gets up and leaves.
we do a wipe transition, and everybody's on the wagon heading to Tomgruv.
wait. Don't do no transitioning yet.
He's got to talk to the dude.
Oh, that's right.
Dolvin, before you delve into too much alcohol, I have not been sitting on that forever. That was not sarcasm.
It was very good.
You've had too much to drink.
Do you mind? Do you mind if I pull you to the side for a moment?
Oh, of course. You got something to ask me? Go ahead.
Well, yes. But it was more of a personal matter. I've been thinking, and I've felt terrible about this since the last interaction. But how is your sister?
He glances around a little bit and notices that we've gotten sufficient distance from the rest of the party, and nobody's really picking up on how awkward that might have sounded without context.
We're all too busy talking about my sister with...
This is all happening during all of the nonsense.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's doing better. I think we've made a positive impact in her life.
So she's no longer grieving?
No, she's come around, and she's come to see that it was the right choice to have him out of the picture.
All right. Well, I appreciate that you're willing to update me on these things, and I would like to extend my my talents for anything else if you need it.
Of course. You're just as good as they said you'd be. If I ever have need of your services again, I'll contact you.
Well, as long as it helps, I won't do anything that hurts. If you know what I mean.
Right. And he taps the side of his nose. Right.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by you're tapping your nose, but
we both know there's an element of hurt that's in your line of work.
Oh, you mean that? Yeah. Yes, I did stab him.
What I do for a moment.
I did stab him twice. So if you need anything, just reach out to me. I'll be around.
Of course. And he takes your hand, shakes it. Now get yourself a drink. There's a long road ahead, I hear.
Will do.
Wipe transition.
What?
We didn't hear that. You can't question it.
I knew that.
No. Hey,
This is
no.
after
No.
the transition.
We are after
Can't
the
talk
transit.
about it.
Can't talk about it. Stop
No.
it.
So we've transitioned. Everybody's on the carriage heading off to Tomgruv. Uver is in the back seat losing his mind.
What's new?
Uver,
Which
it's just
is-
the statue again. It's
in
fine.
character.
Fortunately, the journey to Tomgruv is far less eventful than the journey to Copperberget.
Hey.
That's what I
And-
said.
It's just starting to get on towards that point in the day where the sun's starting to dip low in the horizon, but it's not exactly dusk yet as you begin pulling up to the outskirts of Tomgruv.
So where do you live?
Right there.
Oh, it's just on the outskirts of town. That's great.
It's just in town. It's on the
Oh.
edge of town.
Can you
How are we
describe
going
your
to
house?
return on this?
There's a drop-off point in Tomgrove.
Oh, good.
You're just gonna drop things off?
Otherwise,
carriage.
these things would have to always be two-way trips.
Yeah, that would be awful.
Lots of people rent for one-way trips.
What's the name of the company that we rented this carriage from?
Hort's Rental Company.
Port?
Hort's.
Rental company.
Thank
It's
goodness.
got on the side, it says HRC on the side of the horses.
That's what's
They're
branded in it. Yeah. On the side of the card, it's just written.
It's branded on the side of the cart as well.
You know,
You can do that with a
yeah.
branding iron.
Thank goodness HRC has things set up all over. Otherwise, this would be a pain.
Yes. HRC for all your horse-drawn carriage needs.
Not a sponsor.
Unless.
Anyway, so assuming, are we just going straight to my house?
I'd assumed so.
All right. So it is.
Who has the helmet?
I believe I.
You're
do.
not allowed to come to the house.
Oh, right. We did talk about that.
I was gonna hang back.
So I'm going to pull us over first next to essentially a tavern. Right? Yeah. A well put together one. Looks like it's very busy all the time. All right. You go in there. Zephyr, look at me.
Oh, so sorry.
You go in there and you ask for Rhea Turn and tell her you're a friend of the soldier.
Sorry, I have to make some mental notes.
Well, write faster. Don't let her talk you into doing anything.
Oh, don't worry, I don't have any.
She might get
problems with
some
that.
ideas from you.
Maybe I don't want you to bring along more friends for my sister to have a better
I
role
know
model.
women. Don't let her talk to you into anything.
Listen, I'm looking at your faces, and it's not what you think.
That's what it sounds like.
No, it's not what it sounds.
Yeah, it is.
I'm quite the
Neo's is going,
influential.
I'm just covering my sister's ears just
Zephyr, come over here.
with mage hands.
Come here.
I
Come
don't
here.
want to.
Get here. I grab Zephyr, and I'm like, Zephyr, if she tries to get you to fight, don't do that.
Oh, well, okay. I don't fight anyone anyway.
Good. Now get in there. I push you off of the cart. And then I go.
And as Zephyr is pushed through, it's like the swinging saloon doors from like a Wild West, and they like slam shut behind him, and then the cart just keeps moving. And we'll come back and see what happens to Zephyr in a minute.
Please tell me the tavern instantly goes silent when he gets pushed through.
Okay, everybody needs to stop because Sven is dying right now.
He needs to breathe.
Sven, let it out. He's literally hyperventilating and convulsing and is about to explode over there.
Oh gosh.
I honestly thought you're going to pass out or something. It's like, we got to let him laugh.
So the wagon then begins rolling on just as the swinging saloon-style doors of the tavern come to a close, and we'll come back and see what happens to Zephyr later as the camera continues to follow the wagon on its way to Hamir's old house.
Next episode of The Wit in the Lost Sky.
So we come up to the house. It is a 2-story house. It's pretty good size. Like, you could have a good family there. But derelict isn't quite the right word. It's not very well kept.
A little rundown.
Some weeds.
Yes, I imagine it's still probably snowy from last time I was here. Hasn't been all that long.
Yeah, a little bit of snow left. It's been warming up, but it did snow 5 days ago.
Yeah. So there's a lot of just untouched snow, except for in the front where it looks like there was a lot of movement. But yeah. So the house isn't super great. It looks like it needs a lot of work, but it looks like it'll keep us warm and stuff inside.
Yeah. Upon pulling, I was just like, it has good bones.
It's not great. You don't have to.
Okay, thank you.
This was my parents' house, and they left or they died. I don't really know, but I got the house.
Honestly, it looks like nobody's done anything to try to keep up with the,
Well, I've been living here for only 2 years.
You've been living here, and it looks like this?
Actually, maybe more than 2 years. I don't remember.
Okay.
So come on inside. There's plenty of room for everyone.
Can I do the thing? 'Cause you gave me access to a thing that doesn't technically exist, and I promised I wouldn't use it over much. Can I do my ritual here for my unseen servant?
Oh, that. Yes, you could, but it'll take some time.
Yeah. I'm assuming like a day or however long. It's only one servant, man.
It takes a full day.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start getting some things set up if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Let me show you around.
I just need to know where the living room is.
Right in the door.
Okay.
It's the first room.
I'm going to start prepping things just while he shows everybody else around.
All right, here's the kitchen. There's the bathroom. There's another one upstairs. There's the dining room. There's the den. There's the basement over there. Don't go down there. It's not very well put together, and it floods a lot. Upstairs, there's 5 bedrooms.
Did you say
internal plumbing in 5 bedrooms?
Did you say in this world with no internal plumbing, there's an upstairs bathroom?
Okay, so
yes,
there could be internal plumbing.
That's true.
Not in Tomgruv.
Fair.
My parents were ingenuity.
Don't you mean they were...
How many of us are there?
Never mind.
No, they're ingenious? Sure.
2, 3.
I guess. I don't know.
4, 5.
There's 5 of us
6.
plus the 2, right? Plus
Yeah.
2. All right, so they could take... Your family could take the master bedroom.
What, thank you.
Zephyr's not staying here, at least. Any of you who don't want to stay here are welcome to stay somewhere else.
Zephyr, can you help me real fast? Also,
Zephyr's not here.
Oh, right. Sorry, not Zephyr. Uver, can you come help me real fast with this as I'm continuing to draw things for the ritual?
Also...
Certainly. What are you drawing?
Don't worry about it right now. Well, just help me with this.
Okay. But,
Yeah.
Well, they're doing things. Will you help me move this trunk from the master bedroom?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
What's in it?
I get really close to you. It's Alward's dad's stuff.
Oh.
I don't want it in the same room.
Yeah, no, that's awkward. Yeah,
as his.
I'll help you move it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please, everyone, do not
can
step
put it in the
this
basement.
circle.
I'm sure they'll want
It
to look
looks
through it
because
later,
the,
but not right now.
The
Yeah, that's
exact
fair.
shape that this needs to be exactly.
Circle.
As Hamir and Neros are coming back up out of the basement, the front door to the cottage swings open, and in steps an old woman that none of you recognize. She looks just as shocked as the rest of you.
Hey, what are you doing in my house?
And that's where we'll end this episode.
I'll kill you!
Sam, what card did you get?
I got...
It's an interesting card.
How do you spell that?
You can laugh now, Sven. It's okay.
Play your trumpet hands into the mic.
What'd you get, Sam?
So, I got tuck and roll. Play after... I had this before. If a creature hits you with a strike, or a hazard hits you with a strike, I can just use this to take the minimum amount of damage and fall prone.
Nice.
I think I actually used this
Beautiful.
one's ability before.
I think you did use
I got
it before.
critted by the spider?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it was in the fight during the Duragar.
Yeah, I think it was with the spider. All right, well, thank you for this. I'm going to go and watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie. And then read some comics that I have. Bye.
And we'll see you all in the next episode.
What?
We cut back briefly to outside of the tavern, just as Zephyr is walking through the doors, and we're looking from the rooftops over the shoulder of a short figure draped in blue fabric with a hood over its head, watching everything from the top of a chimney. This has been an Atomic Broadcasting production. Pathfinder, Galarian, and the Lost Omens world setting are copyright of Paizo. More information at paizo.com. Music in the show is from Monument Studios' collection, as well as assorted artists with some original tracks composed by Jordy Hake. More details in the description. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to share with a friend, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time.
What?
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 Jacob was referencing Rashomon.